Good morning, everybody. I am standing in front of one of the most beautiful sights I have seen in a very long time. Sunflowers. Aren't they beautiful? Now, I've been noticing sunflowers growing wildly alongside the road and in the waterways, the road ditches, all this month. And I have just marveled at how beautiful they are. I love them, I love them, I love them. Now, this particular bunch of sunflowers is a wild sunflower. I cut it this morning on the way into this field, growing beside the road, and you'll notice that it has long, slender leaves like this, and one stalk has several flowers on it. I counted 13 on just this one stalk this morning. Now, it's named Maximilian sunflower after a German biologist and explorer that saw these in America when he came, and he liked them and he named them after him. So these are the Maximilian sunflowers that grow wildly here. Now, this field behind me does not grow wildly. It was planted here by a farmer friend of mine, and he gave me permission to come down this morning and take a look at these flowers with you. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, I want to show you the differences between the domesticated sunflowers that were planted by the farmer and the wild sunflower. Okay, this is the wild Maximilian sunflower, and I cut a head off for you to see off of these domesticated sunflowers. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. People are honking at me as they go by here. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the difference. The head is huge on the domesticated sunflowers. Gorgeous. Now, this one that I cut beside the road, the wild one, it's not very tall. I would say probably about a yardstick, about 3 feet long. Let's measure and see how tall the domesticated sunflower is. This is kind of big. I'm going to measure him. And he is 4 feet 9 inches. How tall are you, boys and girls? 4 feet 9 inches, any of you? That's as tall as this sunflower. Now, the domesticated sunflower has just one large head on the top, and they can grow really, really fast, really, really tall. Now, typically they grow 8 to 12 feet in just 6 months. The tallest one that was ever grown was 30 feet 1 inches. Now, I have asked my sweet darling to walk out 30 feet and 1 inch, and he's going to wave a red flag at us. You see it? Thank you, baby. That is a long way from me, isn't it? That's how tall the tallest sunflower on record was. And it was so tall that the fire department had to use their ladders to measure the height. And they had to use a scaffolding to tie it to keep it standing upright. That is one tall baby. But most of them aren't that tall. They grow from 8 to 12 feet. Now, I'm going to look at the head again with you. Okay? Isn't that big? Every sunflower has they can have 1,000 to 2,000 individual flowers that come together at the base like this. They're all individual flowers. And in the center is this large head, and this large head contains the seeds that are what the farmer really wants. The seeds inside, there can be as many as 2,000 of them. And I took one this morning and I rubbed it off. If you rub this outer part off, you can see the seeds. Can you see it? Each one of those points is the end of a sunflower seed. Now this particular field, I asked the owner, what are you going to do with these sunflowers? She said when they get mature in another month, they'll be ready to harvest. All of these petals will fall off and it will dry down and the head will just kind of fall on the stalk like this, and it'll look dead, really dead. And the combine will cut these sunflowers and get all of these seeds out of the middle of the head. And they will take these seeds and sell them at an elevator about 5 miles away, and the elevator will clean them and bag them and put them in bags and use them, sell them for bird seed. Birds love to eat these things, and other wild animals do too. But there are other things you can do with the seeds. How many of you guys like to eat sunflower seeds? Oh yeah, really good. I love them on salad. You can also press the seeds and make a sunflower oil that's good for cooking, and it can also be used for medicines, and especially for high cholesterol and heart disease. They're using sunflower oil in that kind of medicine. I want to point out to you too that sunflowers need a lot of sun. The reason they grow so tall is because they're trying to get above all the other plants to get as much access to the sun as possible. The biggest sunflower head that was ever grown from petal tip to petal tip was grown by a gal named Emily Martin. And she lived in Maple Ridge, British Columbia. And in 1983, she grew the biggest head sunflower on record. And do you know how big that head was? It was 32 inches and a quarter. So what did I do with my tape measure? Here it is, just a sec. I'm going to measure this particular head. See how big a cross it is. Okay, from petal tip to petal tip. This one is 10 inches. She grew one 32 and a quarter inches. So let me put that on there it is. The biggest head on record of a sunflower was this big, from petal tip to petal tip. That is one humongous sunflower head, isn't it? And for that I say, congratulations, Emily Martin. Now, before I finish up this morning talking with you, I want to give you a quiz question, all right? What state calls the sunflower its state flower? Come on, you can do it. Put those thinking caps on. What state has the sunflower as its state flower? Okay. Yep, some of you got it. Some of you Kansas kids out there got it. It is the state of Kansas. And if you didn't know already, I am a Kansas kid. And I love the flower that our state has chosen as its state flower. How about you? If you're not a Kansas kid, what flower is your state flower? Spend some time today asking somebody or looking it up on Google and look into your state flower. See what you can learn about it. But for me, I already know Kansas has its state flower as the sunflower. And so I'm going to spend just a few minutes taking some pictures in front of these beautiful, beautiful babies. Ah, yes, gorgeous. I say, hats off to you, Kansas. You chose a great state flower.